All right, what's up, guys? Aaron Coscarelli here with my co-host Tyler Dragon of USA Today. Welcome to Believe in Rams. Feels like a tough show to do. Right before we went live, I just kind of took a little bit of a sigh. The game is going on, of course, due to the devastating wildfires in Los Angeles. The NFC wildcard game between the Rams and the Vikings is played at State Farm Stadium in Glendale. And we're so glad to have Tyler. He is there right now, bringing us a live look of what it is like at the stadium right now. Off camera, you were telling us what's it like. First and foremost, hi, Ty. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Given the circumstances, how are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's heavy to talk about football, but I think everybody
Mhm.
right now, including the Rams, wants to find a way to get the minds off of the devastation that's
Yeah.
happening in Los Angeles. They've worked so hard this season to get to where they're at today.
hmm
And, I think rooting for a team like LA with what LA is going through seems like the right time. You got the call that the game was getting moved to Arizona. How did you feel about that? I mean, we all thought it could happen, but now, of course, the game is in Arizona. So the home field advantage. A lot of people question whether or not the Rams are going to get that home field advantage. How does it look to you over there?
Yeah, well, first of all, it was the right move by the NFL. There's been a lot of people affected by these wildfires in the LA area, and even as far as Orange County and Illinois, everybody
Mhm.
in Southern California knows somebody or affected. And not to mention that for the players on the field, even if you don't know anybody or you're not affected, the air quality in the Southern California area is bad because of all the
Mhm.
wildfires. So it's just bad. It would have been bad for the NFL to have a game in Los Angeles for just the optics and
Mhm.
just taking resources away from all those devastating, deadly fires. So it was the right move to have the game here in Arizona. And shout out to the Cardinals. As you can see, they have done a remarkable
Yeah.
job of
Mm.
transforming the field to make it look like SoFi Stadium's field. I mean, you have the Rams colored end zone. You have LA together, as you can see in the
Mm.
stands. There's a banner around the stadium that says LA together. So the Arizona Cardinals have done a fantastic job to making this look like a home game. And they even opened up their practice facility for the Rams to practice over the weekend to prepare for the Minnesota Vikings. So Arizona, I've always called Phoenix like LA East, and
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
really feels like LA East. When I was walking to the stadium from the parking lot, I heard a lot of Rams fans tailgating, playing Southern California type hip hop music. So it does sort of feel like a Rams home
Yeah.
game. I mean, it's obvious we are in Phoenix, Arizona at State Farm Stadium. I mean, Glendale, Arizona, but it they have done a really good job of making this transition as easy as possible.
Yeah, shout out to the Cardinals. Of course, a Rams division foe. And this is what I love about sports. This is what I love about the NFL. They find ways to help when people are in need and opening up their home, their stadium, and giving the Rams and the Vikings a safe place to play the game. I completely agree with you. It makes so much sense. It would have been very hard for people to just be in LA and root for a team here with the circumstances that everyone was under. And as you mentioned, Tyler, the resources we would have needed, security, we would have needed police officers, we would have needed paramedics, firefighters to host a game at SoFi. So to keep those people that have very important jobs right now where they are needed and not taking them away for a football game seemed like the right thing to do. And also shout out to the NFL. I want to say, and I may be this may be higher now, but I know there was $5 million donated to those affected by the fires from the Rams, from I want to say the Vikings, from the NFL itself, and I'm not sure the other organizations, but I know at least $5 million has been
Mhm.
given to those affected. So it is amazing to be able to cover this sport that cares so much about the community and the people that love the game. And for me, my question to you is, What is it like over there? Because they needed to shuttle. Didn't the Stafford family rent buses to get fans from LA to Arizona? Are there a lot of Rams fans there? Tell us what it's like right now.
So when I arrived, I'm not sure if the buses have arrived yet, but yeah, I've heard 15,000 fans got free round trip transportation to State Farm Stadium. So there are going to be a lot of Rams fans here. There were 30,000 tickets purchased by Rams fans. As I was saying earlier, I saw multiple Rams tailgates going on. So there are a lot of Rams fans that made the trip to Glendale, Arizona. It's only about a maybe 5.5 to 6 hour drive from the
Mhm.
Los Angeles area, so it's not too bad of a trip. A plane ride, I took the plane. It's less than an hour, so it's a easy trip to Glendale, Arizona. And yeah, you were right. And even the LA area teams, 12 of the LA area professional sports teams donated over $8 million to the LA relief area. I'm talking about teams like the Lakers, the Dodgers, of course, the Rams, the Chargers, the
Mm.
Kings. So it's
Wow.
been a unified effort by everyone in Southern California, and it's great to see. This game is obviously bigger than football. We're all thinking about the families and the victims of the devastating wildfires, but it is good that people are here coming together and just get their minds off everything that's going on in Los Angeles. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a lively vibe here in the press box, as you can probably hear. It's not a very
Yeah.
quiet place right now,
Yeah.
but overall, there is some excitement that people can get their minds off the wildfires and play a really good football game. These two teams, I mean, you have a chance to go to Philadelphia in the divisional round on the line. And the Rams, we all know that they got on the good end of the Vikings in that previous game in Week 8. The Vikings are a hungry team after that loss against Detroit Lions. So this is going to be a really exciting
Mhm.
football game, nationally televised. I can't wait till this game kicks off.
Yeah, I am so excited. And Rams fans have been hoping and wanting a wild card or certainly a playoff opportunity for the Rams back to back years. And it is exciting. It is an exciting time. If you could and by the way, Aaron Coscarelli, Tyler Dragon with you. We're hosting a live Believe in Rams show. You can watch us on YouTube. We will run this podcast later. But if you can, because Tyler is literally in the press box,
Yeah.
taking time out of his very busy day right now to kind of talk with us right now. Can you show us what the stadium looks like and sort of the overall sentiment of what the energy is like, in the press box? Are people just excited? Is it mayhem? What's going on back there?
So the fans have not entered the stadium yet. It's a little early, but as you can see, the Rams end zone,
Wow. Yeah.
LA Rams. You got the
Mm.
Rams logo, both end zones, of course, midfield, Rams decal right there. And so I imagine once the fans enter the stadium shortly, they are going to be a lot of Rams fans here. It is a Rams type vibe, pregame at the stadium. A lot of Rams personnel are here as well. Family of the players, I've seen some of those as well. So
Mhm.
I mean, aside from knowing that you're at State Farm's stadium, the field looks identical to SoFi Stadium. But, however, I will say this: State Farm Stadium does have a grass field, so it's
Mm.
not turf at SoFi Stadium. Cooper Kupp was talking about how he likes playing on grass, and a lot of players generally like playing on grass as opposed to AstroTurf. So that could be a benefit for the Rams. The Arizona Cardinals, they're known for playing on a grass field. They
Mhm.
import the grass, and they had the grass paint from Mississippi. I heard they imported the paint from Mississippi all the way here to Glendale, Arizona, just for this game. So they've done the Arizona Cardinals have done a tremendous amount of legwork and logistics just to make this game look like a Rams home game.
Yeah, and it certainly does. I mean, and that's a very interesting point you said. Tyler Dragon here of USA Today. Rams, it's 3:00 p.m. Pacific time. Game is kicking off in a couple of hours. Rams have a date with the Vikings. They've already beat them week 8. That Thursday night football matchup when Cooper and Puka were both active. And you mentioned Cooper enjoys playing on real grass, which is one of the differences between State Farm Stadium and SoFi. Have you heard or touched base or anything coming out of the Rams with regards to preparing for this important game tonight? They do have a date potentially if they win with the Eagles, which will be another tough test because, as you all know, Rams fans, that was not a fun game. It was right before Thanksgiving. The Rams did not handle the Eagles and their physicality very well. But what are you hearing? Have you heard from any of the players anything regarding to what they're looking forward to tonight?
Yeah, the vibe I get in the locker room, the Rams are trying to make an unprecedented situation as normal as possible. It's
Mhm.
not normal to practice in your division rivals practice
Yeah.
facility. It's not normal to play a home quote unquote playoff game in your division rivals stadium. But with all that being said, it's still football at the end of the day. You still have to play between the white lines. It's the same game that they've been playing for a long time. And luckily for this Rams team, they should enter this game with a lot of confidence because I was at the game. They beat the Minnesota Vikings in Week 8,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a pretty good game from Puka Nacua, who had over 100 receiving yards. Kyron Williams almost hit 100 rushing yards. Matthew
Mm-hmm.
Stafford played a nice game. That defense came alive and
Yeah.
got pressure on Sam Darnold. So this is a Rams team that should be confident that they can beat the Vikings because they have done it before, literally this season. So I get that it's a
Yeah.
confident team, a confident Rams team, albeit all the things that are happening right now in Southern California.
Yeah, and it was really the beginning of the turnaround for the Rams. Remember, they started the season 1-4. They had the bye, and we weren't sure they were going to get both their wide receivers back. And yet, Cooper and Puka both active on that Thursday night. And yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people expected the Vikings to blow them out. Kevin O'Connell, Sean McVay have a very familiar relationship, very close relationship. They both work together in Washington. Also, of course, Kevin O'Connell was the offensive coordinator for Sean McVay when he was with the Rams a few years ago. So this is a team that knows each other fairly well. Certainly the coaching staff knows each other very well. What is your anticipation of tonight with everything going on? I know you've mentioned in the past this is a very tough Vikings team. But do you feel that the Rams are really prepared and Sean McVay has gotten his team prepared for a hopefully positive outcome tonight at State Farm Stadium?
I am so interested to see how each team starts, given just
Mhm.
the unique circumstances of this game. And when for the Vikings side, how are they going to start after that huge loss last week? How are they going to respond coming into a hostile environment all the way across country? For the Rams, we all know what's going on, but how are they going to play? Are they going to be distracted? I mean, you
Yeah,
almost have to a little bit be distracted because of
totally.
everything that's happened. It's human nature, it's natural, but is that going to be a source of fuel, a source of
Mhm.
motivation for the
Mm.
team to be able to compete hard and win and be inspired? So I'm really interested to
Yeah.
see how these two teams start the game. That will tell me a lot about the outcome of this playoff ball game. But overall, I do think the Rams should be a confident team entering
Mhm.
tonight's matchup. And the Vikings are going into this game a little bit wounded because of what happened to them in national television against the
Mhm.
Lions. So this
Mhm.
is this is a really intriguing game with the chance to play the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly
Yeah.
on the line next week.
Yeah. And we want to be respectful. Tyler Dragon of USA Today. He is joining us live from State Farm Stadium. He took some time out of his very busy day ahead of the wild card matchup against the Vikings to join us. to sort of give us what the state of the nation is in Arizona, as the Rams, of course, had to move their wild card game. Big, important game that all Rams fans weren't even sure was going to happen. And they had to move their playoff game, losing a little bit of the home field advantage. But like you said, it could be motivating. I find that to be an interesting point that you just made. And the other thing that's interesting, how these two teams start. We know historically, at least within the last several games, the Rams have just not started fast. And that is something that Sean McVay is aware of. Hopefully they can work on that. They did get a lot of time to rest. McVay resting his starters week 18. We want to be respectful of your time. We're so grateful you joined us, Tyler Dragon. Any last sort of thoughts or things that you'll be looking at for this game, other than the fact that you're curious to see how they start? And one of the things I'm actually really curious about is who's in the home locker room. Are the Rams literally in the in the Cardinals actual locker room? Like, which team is in the home one and which one's in the visitor?
So it's funny that you asked that. Sean McVay and the Rams actually requested to be in the visiting locker room because they're familiar with it from playing the Cardinals at least once a year, and the Vikings are in the home locker room. So that's a little strange twist in the game. But other than that, the Rams have to feel at home. Like I said, if you haven't seen the home field,
Yeah.
look at the field at State Farm Stadium. The Rams should feel right at home. But yeah, another thing I'm interested to see is how the Rams contain Justin Jefferson. I know that's easier said than done. Jefferson had over 100 receiving yards in the game. He was kept out of the end zone. Can the Rams keep him out of the end zone in this game? And are the Rams going to be able to get pressure on Sam Darnold and rattle him? The Lions did a really good job
Yeah.
of getting pressure on Darnold and blitzing him, playing a lot of man coverage. Are the Rams gonna? It's a copycat league. Can they replicate some of that same kind of defensive strategy and get after Donald and rattle him coming off of one of his, probably his worst game as a Minnesota Viking? So I want to see that from the Rams defense. And also, can this offense, like you said, can they start off fast, because they are notorious for starting off slow during the regular season?
Yeah. Another thing that's really interesting is, even though the Rams have the higher seed, the Vikings are favored 2.5. Of course, get in on the action. BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform, your number one source for online betting. We've got earliest odds, in-game live betting, all the action to watch games as they happen. Head to BetOnline today. Don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here. Tyler Dragon, you were so generous. We are so grateful. We know you had to hold your computer, but like the fact that we get this perspective from somebody who is there in the press box, we are so grateful to you. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Willie Bowen, you have confidence in the LA Rams that they will dominate and get the victory. Horns up. Brian Smith agreed with Willie. Wish I was there. I wish I was there with you, Tyler. Thank you again for taking the time to join us. We are so grateful. And fingers crossed the Rams pull off a W tonight.
Of course, enjoy being on, and hopefully everybody enjoys the game. And for all those in the LA area, stay safe, and prayers up to everybody affected by the wildfires.
Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate it. Everybody, thank you again for listening, and hopefully the Rams pull off a win. We'll be with you tomorrow.